What's up everybody, it's Andy here and welcome to the video you've been waiting for. I have finally played my wildcard. Yes, it's true, no more me talking about it and not doing it. I've actually played it now. I know a lot of people have been, funnily enough, getting annoyed that I hadn't played it. They're so invested in my team that they're just annoyed that I didn't play it earlier. People are annoyed about me banging on about it and then not playing it. Watching videos about my team and then getting annoyed that I hadn't played it. But anyway, it is here, no more getting annoyed. I've already made two previous wildcard videos in Game Week 4 and Game Week 8 over different international breaks. And obviously I gave my thoughts there, but this time I'm actually doing it for myself. So I've thought about it a bit more. I've got some mock teams to go through. So a 3-5-2, a 3-4-3 and a 4-4-2, kind of what my thoughts are around those. The key players that I'm looking at and kind of decisions that I've still got to make for my team. And basically, yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it. I'll go through the key players first, like I say, and then we'll go through the formations. And yeah, it's wildcard time. So just before we get on to key players, let's go through the why. Why am I wildcarding now? After all these weeks, I've said before that I didn't necessarily need to wildcard this week, so why did I make the decision to? So it wasn't really for price rises. I think over international breaks, yes, you can still make money, but it's not like you used to be able to. So definitely wasn't money a factor. If you look at my bench, I've got Foster, Carroll, Suttner, Long. As we noticed on stream the other day, that is the bench I've had since Game Week 1. Suttner's not playing anymore. He's been pushed out the team. Long is not playing for Burnley. I knew that from the start. Obviously, he was a cheap defender. But going into these weeks now, when we've got a better idea of who's nailed, plus a fixture congestion going through from kind of November to December, I want playing players. So Long's got to go. Tom Carroll, he got 8 points for me 1 week. Otherwise, he's really a 2 or 3 point man. And yes, for $4.5 million, I'm probably not going to get much more. But I want to take a risk, or I wouldn't even call it a risk. I want to basically swap him for Loftus-Cheek, who, yes, so far hasn't really done the business, but I think he's got a better chance of doing it than Carroll if Crystal Palace can pull their socks up, essentially. And then you've got, so not only the bench, that's 4 players from the bench I could swap. Then Vardy and Jesus probably got to go. Vardy, yes, we've seen him do well against big teams before. He's got Man City next, but long term, he's just not cutting it for me. I think he scored once in the last 4 games that I've had him for. So I want to get rid of him. Jesus, I don't think is the best Man City option up front. Obviously, it would be Aguero. And even then, I don't know if I want too many Man City attackers, so he's going to go as well. And then in midfield, that's probably the best part of my team right now. Eriksen arguably could go. He's not scored or assisted in the last 3 matches. Basically not got attacking returns in the last 3 matches, but 2 of them were pretty difficult. And I do think with Spurs' upcoming fixtures, they're going to do well. But he's quite pricey at 9.7 million or whatever he is now. He's around that price. So arguably he could go. That's not something with great urgency that I need to do, but he could go. And then defence, Norton, I would probably swap to even Fernandez, his counterpart, but really I'd probably want to go elsewhere. I need to swap my goalkeeper, Foster, I've already said that. And probably even Ward's not the best pick right now from Burnley. I think that will chop and change between the centre-backs and the full-backs at Burnley, but you could even argue that Ben Mee is a better option than him right now. So I felt like I had enough to change. We're going to come on to kind of the key players and then the formations after this. But that's basically why I've done it. I feel like now is a good time to do it. We've got a lot of information. Obviously, we're 12 weeks in. Fixture congestion coming up. Fixture swings coming up. So we'll go through what you'll see when I go through the mock teams, kind of what I'm thinking about and which players I'm going through. But that's basically why I've wildcarded now. So first of all, we're going to go through the key players. So these are players which I'm pretty sure are going to make every single one of my drafts and finally make the final cut into my team. Some of these are going to be really obvious to you, pretty much all of them. So I'm only going to go through them really quick. So we start off with Elliott. I got him for 4 million. Plays for Newcastle, who are fairly good defensively. They've not done too bad this season. If you've seen some of my recent videos, you'll know that I've kind of talked about getting another goalkeeper to go alongside Elliott because Newcastle's fixtures do tighten up now. They got Watford in Game Week 13, which I previously said was a good fixture. Agreed that Watford are doing pretty good attacking-wise, but it's a fixture that I wouldn't mind playing Elliott in too much. It's a home fixture for them against Watford. I think that's okay to play a goalkeeper in. But longer term, I need a goalkeeper to go alongside him. But at his price, he has to be in the team because he just lets me add value elsewhere. Phil Jones, Man United defender. David De Gea, arguably the best goalie in the league behind them. Matic, one of the best defensive midfielders in the league in front of them. He's pretty much nailed on. He's been rested in cup games. He's been rested in Europe. Mourinho's really said he's had injuries, but I think it's more of a rest. He's been on the bench in some of those games where he's apparently been injured. So he's in the team. Man United have got clean sheets. They've got good fixtures coming up. There's not much more to say about Phil Jones. I love him as a pick. He's been really good this season for Man United, so he's definitely in. Charlie Daniels is probably the strangest one on the list. I think some people would say they'd look at Bournemouth and think, Well, they've not kept many clean sheets this year. Why would you get him in? I had Charlie Daniels earlier in the year, had him for when he scored against Man City, which was great. But you're right, they didn't score get many clean sheets. He didn't get too many attacking points. But there are some really nice fixtures coming up. He's dropped to 4.8 million. I think for him that's value. He started off at 5 million, and I obviously did consider him because I got him in then. So at 5 million, I thought he could be good value. So at 4.8, even better. Good fixtures coming up. He's a bit of a differential. He can get attacking returns. We've seen him do that plenty of times in the past. So I'm hoping that not only will he get attacking returns, but Bournemouth will strengthen a little bit in defence going forward because of the fixtures. And I get some points on him. And if not, it's 4.8 million. It's not a huge risk. Burnley defender I've put there. I haven't named which one. I've got Ward in my side currently. That might become Tarkowski or Ben Mee. I don't know yet. That would save me some money. But definitely going to get a Bournemouth defender in there. They haven't conceded many goals this year. They look very likely to get clean sheets at home no matter who they're playing. Top sides, yes, of course. They're probably going to lose those games. But even then, they're not conceding too many goals. So Burnley defender would definitely be in. Salah, probably one of my favourite players I picked this year. Had him since game week 1. He's just got a massive haul, 15 points last week. He's one of the top scoring players in the game. I can't remember actually if he is top, but I know he's definitely one of the top players in the game. Definitely for midfielders. 9 million I got him for. He's gone up to 9.4 now. I think Liverpool hopefully will have Coutinho back after the international break. Mane is back now as well. So if they play their kind of first choice players, I think they're going to create lots more chances, get lots more goals, and they've got some kind fixtures. So Salah's going nowhere for me. Seems to be able to score against anyone. Has been very consistent. He definitely stays in the team. And then Harry Kane up front. Some people were probably starting to think about getting rid of him. Obviously, some of us captained him against Crystal Palace at home. Didn't go well. I've kind of learnt my lesson-ish with him when it comes to low or easier teams at home. And obviously home isn't home to Spurs right now, it's Wembley. But for argument's sake, we'll just say home. But he's got 3 away fixtures in the next 4. One's against Arsenal, one's against Leicester, and I think the other one's Watford. So that's good fixtures, I think. So he's going to be my captain. I don't want to go without him because we can see we've seen what he can do. So he's definitely going to be on my team. There is arguments to not have him, to save money, to go for Morata, to go for Lukaku, Aguero, whoever. But I'm not going to do it. So Harry Kane will definitely make the cut. Unless he gets injured over the international break, which he absolutely won't because he's pulled out of England. But Pochettino said he'll be fine for Arsenal. So we're all good there. So let's move on from key players and we'll go through some of the formations. So the first formation we're going to go through is a 4-4-2 that I've put together. Now, straight away I know people won't like this because it's got an extra defender that you're mostly playing each week. But I think given the kind of fixtures that are coming up and trying to get players that are nailed on to start, I think sometimes big defensive options in big teams are the ones to go for. They're usually the ones most likely to keep a clean sheet. So let's go through the team. So we'll start at the back. So first of all, you'll see that I've got David De Gea in goal. Obviously, Man United kept a huge amount of clean sheets. I've still got Phil Jones, so that would be a double up. Now, I'm not sure whether we're going to keeping as many clean sheets, but I'm pretty confident we'll keep a good enough amount to make him worthwhile. Now, the downside to kind of, or the counter argument to having these defenders, and kind of what would put me off this formation is, there's usually a counterpart for a bit less money in defence that will do just as good or nearly as good. So, for example, people keep telling me that Azpilicueta, 6.7 million, absolute bargain, scored loads of points. Yes, I get that. He'll probably score more than the 6.7 midfielders. He absolutely could do. But what you've got to take into account is it's more like Azpilicueta and Loftus-Cheek, or kind of Zaha and a 4.5 million defender like Ben Mee, as an example. Now, the argument could be that Ben Mee will keep up with Azpilicueta, might not get as many points, granted, but he won't be too far behind, whereas Zaha is probably going to score a lot more than Loftus-Cheek, or anyone like that. So it could be Richarlison and Tom Carroll, anything like that. So that's one thing that would put me off this, but I think over the kind of tough fixtures, people like Vertonghen, Azpilicueta, even Jones, he might not start every fixture, but he's going to start the majority. And then you're just playing one of me or Daniels every week in a 4-4-2. You got a pretty decent midfield. Sterling and Salah still there from the top teams. Obviously, you're missing a Spurs midfielder. Not absolutely necessary when you've got Harry Kane. And then Richarlison in there too, who's looking good right now. I've gone for Lukaku up front. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get him into whichever draft I go for, just because he's got a bit of a fixture swing coming up. I'm hoping Pogba will be back too. And he's dropped down to 11.5 million. So I kind of want Lukaku back. The only downside with this formation is, and the kind of money that I've got to spend, is you've got to go for an absolute dud forward who's just not going to play. So straight away it's going back to like having Long from Burnley beforehand. And I'm not sure I want to do that. Now I could spend a bit more and go for like Nias at 4.9 million or Calvert-Lewin at 5 million. But I'd have to find the money from somewhere. So that could be, for example, Richarlison to Choupo-Moting downgrade De Gea to a 4.5 and put the money in somewhere else, something like that. So it's possible, but I don't know if I'd do it. The other thing with this formation, I say it's a little bit inflexible because you've got so much money spread across so many defenders. It's hard to recuperate that money. You might need to make 2 defensive transfers just to get the money to upgrade an attacker. So I like this. I think overall it will score good points. I think it's quite balanced. I think you're not going to see massive scores from all the players, but you'll get consistently like kind of 7 to 9 points from the defenders, from the top defenders, which is decent. I think it's something we probably overlook. But for me, I like going for the attack, so I'm not sure this is something I'd go with, but let me know in the comments below if you're thinking about this. I know a lot of people are really fond of Spurs defenders and Azpilicueta right now, so is this the formation to do it in? Maybe it is. Then we've got a 3-5-2. Now, this is probably more like the goalkeeper and defensive options that I'll have on my final wildcard. Yes, I've looked at Azpilicueta and Vertonghen, and yes, I agree they're good options. But right now, there's so much value in the cheaper defenders, like under 5 million. I think that defence that I've got right there on screen, with Phil Jones, the highest priced player at 5.3, is decent. At least it seems decent right now. You'll have to let me know if you think that will survive over Christmas in the comments below. Do I need a bigger hitter in there? Obviously, if I do get someone like Azpilicueta or Vertonghen in, and they don't perform, they're an easy swap to someone else. Whereas right now, I'd struggle to put more money in defence without making 2 switches. So that's how I'm at right now with my defence. I think I kind of like that. You've got Daniels, I've already said at the start, with attacking returns and hopefully some clean sheets. Phil Jones, enough said. Ben Mee, Burnley defender, absolutely in. And then you've got Duffy at Brighton. So Brighton have been pretty good defensively. I think Duffy looks good going forward. And then Scott Dan is the kicker here. I'm sure a lot of people will hate this. Yes, I'm not super sure whether Roy Hodgson and Crystal Palace can get loads of clean sheets going forward, but they've got really nice fixtures coming up. And he is a goal threat. We've seen it in the past. His numbers are back up for goal attempts, so I kind of want him in my team to see how it goes. And that's why he's in there right now. And you'll probably see him in the 3-4-3 as well. And then, again, my one issue with this is the striker up front. Again, we've got Ngoy there. 4.5 million, he's just not going to play. If he does, it's going to be once in a blue moon. So that straight away is I'm down to 14 players, and I'm not sure I like that. But in midfield, we've still got Sterling and Salah. And Richarlison again, so he's still in there. I think he has got 2 tougher fixtures coming up. I think it's Man United and Spurs at home. I could be wrong about that. They might be away. They might be slightly different teams, but they're in the top 6. But either side, they've got some nice fixtures, and he looks really good. His stats have been good all season, so I think he's going to stay in my team. But then you add Zaha, who again, like I just said, Crystal Palace have got awesome fixtures. And you also add someone like Mane. Now, it doesn't have to be Mane. Ali is the same price. I could get Sané in. But basically, you add that 5th midfielder, and essentially what you're doing, which you'll see when I come to my 3-4-3 side, is you're saying that Mane plus a bit of money is better than someone like Morata up front, because you could get Morata for $1 million more and play 3-4-3 and downgrade Mane. Now, obviously, the good thing about downgrading Mane is you can get someone like Loftus-Cheek or Carroll who are going to play for 4.5 million, whereas Ngoy isn't. But I kind of like that 5th midfield option. I think there's a lot of value in midfield right now. There is a lot of premium strikers still, but there's not too many that people are, really wanting their team. So there's Kane is a given. Aguero might get rested. Oh, not too often, granted, but he might do. Same with Jesus. Lukaku's looked out of form. Morata's back and did look okay against Man United. But are people guaranteeing that he's going to do well? I don't know if people are so happy with him in their team. So there is a lot of kind of speculation around forwards and which one's best. So maybe it's best to go in midfield. So let me know what you think about 3-5-2. Let me know what you think about the defence. Is it too cheap? I think you're going to see something very similar in a minute. But we'll go on to the 3-4-3, which is probably my favoured formation right now. So now we come on to the 3-4-3, the daddy of FPL formations, the one that most people play for the majority of their seasons, season in, season out. I'm not 100% stuck on this. I do like the idea of 3-5-2 with an extra midfielder. But this is the team I first made when I hit the button. And I know people always say they're set on wildcards and it changes a million times. And I guarantee you, yes, I will probably change it too. But right now I'm fairly settled on it. I don't see too many changes I'd like to make. There's Choupo-Moting in midfield I'm not quite sure about. We'll come on to that in a minute. But again, yes, the defence is exactly the same as the previous formation. If I'm going to play 3 at the back, I think this is how I want to go. I really would like your comments, though, below. And let me know what you think about that. Do I need that extra big hitter in? But I just think they offer so much value. Burnley look great in defence, like I've already said. Charlie Daniels, attacking returns, great clean sheet potential coming up. Scott Down with the attacking returns. And the thing is with that backline, I've only got to play 3 of them each week. And what I really want is kind of playing players that are obviously, if someone up front, if Sterling gets rested, Man City attacker, it could happen. They're going to come on because they're guaranteed to play. Not only that, if they've got a goal in them, that'd be awesome to come off the bench. So sometimes with defenders, we just look at clean sheets, but we should look at the attacking potential because that can really boost your figures for a week, especially if they can get a few goals in like, you know, kind of 3 to 6 weeks. So that's the back line that I'm looking at. Obviously with this, I've gone for 3 premium strikers up front. So this is a big talking point right now. I wasn't really sure about what I want to do. I'm still not. But I think I want Kane. I think I want Lukaku. So then it's a matter of, do I want that kind of Mane in midfield and a dud up front? Or do I want Morata and like Choupo-Moting? Now, obviously that doesn't quite add up because 4.5 million plus plus Mane is not the same cost as Morata and Choupo-Moting, but it's because I've not got Zaha as well. I've got Loftus-Cheek there, obviously, who I won't need to play in this formation. But I think Chelsea's fixtures are really good that are coming up. It's basically Morata or Hazard up for, in attack for Chelsea that you'd want to go for. So it's one of those two. They're very similarly priced. I think Hazard's 10.6 million. Now, I'm still not sure which one's the best to go for. I thought Morata looked pretty good against Man United. He did fluff a few chances. Obviously, his header was really nice. So I'm taking the gamble that it's him. Now, the thing I like about this formation, which is probably the key for me, is it's super flexible. So I can have a Man City midfielder in there. I know Sané is the one that everyone wants right now, but I can't quite afford him with this formation without doing a few more downgrades, which I'm not too keen on. So Sterling's done okay for me. He's cheaper, so I'm not too disheartened at that I can't get Sané. But yeah, with this formation, so Sterling gets rested. I got every other player is playing right now. Yes, that could change, but right now they're all playing. So if he does get fully rested, someone will come on. So I've got no problems with someone like Sutton or Long coming off the bench. It's very flexible as well. It doesn't have to be 3-4-3. For example, and this won't happen every week, but in Game Week 12, obviously the first week after I play this, all of those defenders have got good fixtures. I could arguably play 5 at the back. What I might do, because Choupo-Moting's not been great away from home, he's got Brighton at home. I may bench Choupo-Moting and play 4-4-2. So I think it gives you that flexibility that you don't always have to play the Richarlison or always have to play the Choupo-Moting. You might have a goal-scoring defender with a nice fixture that you want to play instead. Obviously, you're always going to play 3 up front. So, sorry, yeah, it wouldn't be 4-4-2. It would be 4-3-3. The flexibility is there. Even Loftus-Cheek has looked fairly attacking. So I wouldn't want to play him too often, but if he's got a really nice fixture, maybe he steps in for Choupo-Moting, maybe he steps in for one of the 4th defenders. But I feel like that formation has got a lot of flexibility. And not only that, if I really need Ali, I really need Mane, someone like that, I really need to get another Man City midfielder in, I can downgrade Lukaku or Morata quite easily and upgrade the midfielder. So I can do that in 2 moves. So let's say I save a free transfer, got 2 free transfers the next week, then I can easily make that move. So not only do I like this formation for the fact that every player plays, I think I've got good value in defence. I'm going to get good points for not a lot of money. I think I've got flexibility in being able to make moves. I can play different formations. I've got the 3 premium strikers up front. So if Kane, if I'm still not trusting him on these easier games at home, which obviously you want to be able to trust him, and I'm sure he's going to score at some point. I've got no doubts about that. It's just a matter of when. I could captain Lukaku or Morata instead. I've got those options there. Even Salah, he's been so consistent. He actually maybe should be the one we're captaining. So this is probably my favourite formation. It's probably the closest to what I'll finish with. I'm not 100% nailed on 3 premium strikers yet. I could go for like Abraham and upgrade Choupo-Moting and just not play Loftus-Cheek and always play 3 defenders and kind of play 3-4-3. And again, Abraham could get benched for a defender. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of value in midfield, so a lot of people will be screaming Sané at the screen right now. So do let me know what you think. But I think this is pretty much what I'm going to go with. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to go with. So that's the 3-4-3. We'll just quickly move on and we'll end the video now. Hopefully loads of you didn't turn off when I just said we're going to end the video right now. I meant we're going to do like an outro. Anyway, I know I've said this a few times already, but which one do you think I should go for? Where are my biggest mistakes? What are the biggest changes that I need to make out of those teams? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure you're going to. How happy are you that I finally wildcard? I know a load of you, like I said at the start, are really bored of hearing about it. It's finally here. Also, I know a lot of people wanted to see a live stream about this. Yes, that will happen. We'll go through my team, any questions you've got about it, about your wildcards. I'm not going to promise when that will be right now. I'm recording this on Wednesday night, and I'm going to try and put this video out on Wednesday night as well. So we might do it over the weekend, maybe on Sunday or Monday when we would usually have streamed, but obviously we're not because there's no football this weekend. So I may do it one of those 2 days. Keep an eye. Follow me on Twitter, Andy85WSM. I'll let you know in advance when I'm streaming. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm kind of almost excited and like relieved to have used the wildcard. I'm looking forward to putting it in action. I hope I get a good week from Game Week 12 because although the wildcards for the long term, it's horrible when you don't get a good score in that first week. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let me know below what you think. So comment, like this video if you've enjoyed it. If you're new around here, subscribe. That'll let you know when all my videos are going live and also when I'm live streaming. So for those, I just generally chat to the chat, whoever's watching, and answer their questions and go through my kind of team and stuff like that. So I'll leave it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.